TNTM The Show presents
Talking Nerdy,
January 2025,
with your hosts, the Ambassador,
Slay J,
Pablo Gunner.
and Marvin Goof.
We're here to talk nerdy about all the nerdy things that have happened for January 2025. Which includes
Skeleton Crew, and then of course our charity. We'll talk about that, and then a little shout out, and our merch, of course.
Skeleton Crew. We'll see what we thought of it. Let's go and start with Marvin Goof. What'd you think of Skeleton Crew?
I was just trying to say, I just appreciate the fact that they're trying to tell stories differently. And to me, this is sort of this perfect mashup of me being a kid watching Star Wars, and I feel like it captures something that they haven't really decided to put in two ways. One is just the aspect of kids and what kids do in this universe, and two, what the more piratey, seedy part of the Star Wars universe looks like. And so to me, that's why I think this is probably some of the best Star Wars content, in my opinion, that they've put out in a few years, because they're actually turning to something different. So I've been really appreciating what they have been presenting there. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I think it was very interesting. The first episode, I felt like they probably could have gotten them off the planet quicker. Some of it was used later, but some of it was just kind of there just to take time. Anything you can do more on the adventure is going to be better. But I do like the reveal of why everyone gets shocked whenever they say where they're from once they leave the planet.
I didn't see that coming personally.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
assume
and I
it's
like
Alderaan.
Jude Law's character. He portrayed his character really well, and he was very enjoyable. From the beginning, I knew something was up with him, that they weren't exactly telling you everything about him. He's really good at lying and claiming he's a Jedi, but I kept thinking there has to be some truth to that, some shape or form, because he is a trickster, but some of the tricks he's done, it's gotta be him using the Force, was what I thought, and it explains why he would be getting in touch with the Force, or what the trick was behind his supposed Jedi tricks.
Didn't you know tricks are for kids?
Yeah,
That's one of my favorite parts of Ted is when he buys the cereal. Liam Neeson is the best. Sorry.
Yeah.
Squirrel moment for the podcast.
Yeah, his backstory was phenomenal. I love that. I will say this though, there are different things, right? They're trying to do different things. Like what they did with a lot of like Andor is obviously for adults that have grown up with the series, understand the politics. That's the focus of that one. Acolyte was doing something where they're trying to find like a good in between of like, yeah, let's give something for people that are grown up with it, but also something that's not too aged, so it's not fully adult, right? Like that same idea of George Lucas, where are teenage boys still going to be into this, or teenagers going to still be into this, as well as going with his whole, like, it's based off Samurai and Flash Gordon and all his inspirations, right? And this, and then we have the cartoons, and those are obviously for little kids. This was in between like little kids and teens. I feel like they were going for that window. This is perfect to watch with your kids at fault, because my kids loved it. Like when the kids were doing stuff, that was their favorite stuff, because they saw themselves doing stuff, right? Doing adventures. That's what they saw. And when I saw that, that's when I checked out, because I was like, I'm too old to be connected to that. I care more about the adult characters when they would come in. And I mean, the character development of Jod was great. A lot of the characters were done well. And it ended up being phenomenal. If you know what your target audience is and you want to hit that mark, they hit it. They know what they're going for. They hit that mark. So on that end, I will say it's a must-see for that. Now, for me, personally, is just going like, am I going to watch this by myself? I'll have it on in the background. Like I'm not going to be completely sucked in the 100%. So therefore, like for me, just as and by myself, not as a parent, it's just worth checking out.
Yeah, for me, there were some really good moments in the series, but I wasn't the intended audience of the series. It's really designed for kids, but at the same time, it was nice seeing some homage to the Goonies because it did have like a Goonies vibe to it while you're watching it, Goonies in space. The reveal of their planet's origins was very interesting. The only problem I really had with it, I blame The Force Awakens. Because of the time period they use for this, it makes me want to care less if I know they're all going to get blown up in like 20 or 30 years. Sorry to sound a little bleak, but that was one problem that The Force Awakens did. But it was a good movie, don't get me wrong, but that was one problem it did set up for anything that happens post Empire. It kind of takes that weight away, knowing that everything's going to just have no point to it and they're going to die for the most part. I do say it's worth checking out. What would you give it, Marvin Goof?
Definitely worth a check out. Absolutely. Yeah.
Is it a must-see for you?
I think it's a must-see for me.
For shout outs, we really, the ones that have been sharing us the most and repost us and that we have the greatest interactions with are the Film Rage podcasts. They also are on YouTube. So you don't really see them, but you can listen to them on YouTube. And I actually I do both because they're just great. Because like I'll miss snippets. I usually just watch them in the car. I mean, listen to them on the podcast. But yeah, they're great guys, hilarious, and they cover all the movies. So if there's anything that we miss, even if it's nerdy, they got it. And even if it's not nerdy, and you just like watch movies, check it out. We have our charity. We do a new charity every month that we try to donate to. So if you buy our merch, 5% of any profit that we make on our merch goes to our charity of the month. Said we have a different one. You can check that out on our Instagram. It changes every month based on like, whatever the theme of the month is because there's different, things. It's probably going to be Noble, I believe. I got this sweet shirt from our merch, which is, I have the Dragon Ball lettering here, even though this is like Dragon Ball Z quote, where there's a will, there's a way, which Goku said in his final epic battle against, well, not final, but his epic battle against Frieza when he went Super Saiyan. So yeah, I love it. I love wearing it in the gym because like when I see this shirt, I go, oh, should I do a lighter weight? And I go, no, I'm gonna do this. Even if I can't finish the set, I'm gonna do it. And then if I can't finish it, then I'll switch to it. But yeah, so it's a great Gym Motivation shirt. And then of course I got my my Bad Batch headband, which I couldn't find for forever, which is why I haven't been wearing it. But yeah, Star Wars, check it out on our site because we're going to have it going for another month. At least our Star Wars stuff, it's gone. I mean, if I'm wearing it, I will probably throw this on the site, the stuff that we wear, so that the stuff that we wear, like you can grab that on there. But otherwise, if we don't wear it, then it's going away and you won't see it again until the next time that there's, until it's the merch of the month, which I don't know, the next time we're getting some new Star Wars. I hope it's Ahsoka because I can't wait to put out some more Ahsoka stuff. And then we are continuing at least Dragon Ball Daima stuff, our Dragon Ball Z stuff. We're going to be continuing for February.
I'm wearing my Legend of Dad shirt. It's pretty cool with Children of the Wild. And then let's check out the Firebending Nation over there.
Yep, your Firebender. Even on the sleeve, it has the avatar. This is just for us, where you guys can find us. So there you go. If Pablo throws that up on the site, you can be a firebender, waterbender, airbender, and earthbender.
I'll take the earthbender one.
I have a shirt like that too. I love it. We got Marvin Goof over there in Samurai Troopers.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you watched it back in the day, Ronin Warriors.
Ronin Warriors, indeed. Definitely one of my first favorite animes of my life. So needless to say, this makes me very happy.
That's it for us. Check us out at TNTM the Show. That's our website, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, YouTube, X, Blue Sky, whatever, everything. That's where you can find, especially on YouTube. Subscribe so we can hit that 500 and do a massive giveaway and talk nerdy to me.
Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And stay nerdy, planet Earth.